Hi, so today I'm going to be reading from my book, which is She Felt Everything, which is currently out in Amazon on paperback and Kindle ebook. So I'm going to read from chapter 1. Chapter 1 is called Born Sensitive. Before I arrived in this world, I believe my soul chose this path, including the family, the physical challenges, and the emotional terrain I would travel. I didn't always understand why I felt so out of place growing up, but after my spiritual awakening, it all made sense. I was born sensitive, not just emotionally, but spiritually, energetically, deeply. I came into this lifetime with a mission to remember who I was. I was born in 1972 into a Christian Methodist family in the northeast of England. From the very beginning, life was marked by a physical difference. I was born with a club foot, a condition where the foot turns downward and inward. My early years were filled with surgeries, hospital stays, and medical interventions. My parents were told I might never walk and may spend the rest of my life in a wheelchair. Even as a baby, I refused to accept this fate. There's a story my parents used to tell. I was still in plaster with a cast stretching from my foot to my knee, and they couldn't find me anywhere in the house. They eventually discovered me at the top of the stairs. I had crawled all the way up, determined to move, to climb, to prove them wrong. That was probably my first act of rebellion, a quiet but fierce strength that said, I will not be defined by this body or its limitations. I can't remember much of those early years, and I believe that's because the trauma was so deep. I blocked it out. I've always known I screamed a lot as a baby, especially in hospital, and looking back now through the lens of being an empath, I understand why. I was highly sensitive, not just to pain, but to energy, to fear, to separation, to the clinical, soulless environments of hospital rooms. I absorbed everything, and no one knew how to help me process it. I was too small to speak, but my soul was already feeling everything. My family was tightly woven into the life of the local Methodist church. Church wasn't just something we did, it was the centre of everything. My family was in the choir, the drama group, and the church groups and meetings. I now know this close-knit community provided some of the protection I needed, even if they didn't understand me, but I never quite felt like I belonged. As I grew from baby to toddler, this sensitivity only deepened. I wasn't shy, I was overwhelmed. I wasn't antisocial. I just needed solitude to recover from the noise, the energy, and the expectations. I was pushed to show up, to participate. And while I did my best, I longed to hide, to retreat, to just be still. I began to protect my energy by building invisible walls. I blocked emotions I didn't know how to handle. I placed myself in kind of an energetic bubble. Not because I didn't want to connect, but because connection felt unsafe. I was absorbing everyone else's energy without understanding how to filter it. That's a painful place for a child to live in. But back then, no one talked about highly sensitive and empathic babies or toddlers. I was just the quiet one, the strange one, and the one that wanted to be alone. And so I took my sensitivity deep down, thinking maybe I really was different in the wrong kind of way. Looking back now, I see so clearly that my soul chose this path, not as punishment, but as preparation. The surgeries, the misunderstandings, the loneliness, they forged in me a quiet resilience, a deep empathy, and a powerful spiritual sensitivity that I now honour with all my heart. As a baby, I was strong, not in a loud, forceful way, but in a deep-rooted, quiet way. I faced physical pain, emotional disconnection, and energetic overwhelm, and somehow I kept going. My soul always knew how to come back to. My soul always knew it came here to feel and to eventually heal. And so the story begins, not in perfection or peace, but in pain and potential. Because even as a baby, I was already defying the odds, already making my way up the stairs. So that is chapter 1 from Born Sensitive, from my book, my new book, She Felt Everything, which is out on Amazon and is available in paperback and Kindle ebook. It's available worldwide as well. I have links on my profile to Amazon, but it'll go to the UK Amazon site. But it is available in the US, everywhere, worldwide. So yeah, check it out, have a look. And this is my story from when I was a baby right through to adulthood to now. It talks about my life as an empath and highly sensitive, and how I navigated my way through childhood trauma, through emotional and mental abuse, through grief, through heartache, and back to love, to healing and coming home to myself. Have a look. But yeah, that's a little bit of the book. That's chapter 1, and I will read a little bit of, I'll read chapter 2 next week, which is The Girl Who Felt Too Much. I hope you enjoyed that reading. Have a great day. Love, light, and blessings.